Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and productive day. And in the news this morning for November 16, 2023, suspected lottery scammers charged after police operation in St. James. Police have arrested 2 male customer service representatives following a raid at a call center in Freeport, Montego Bay in St. James on Monday, November 13. The men have been identified as 22-year-old Norris Gordon of Beeston in White House in Westmoreland and 18-year-old Sheen D. Grant of Austin Avenue in Mount Salem, St. James. They were charged on Wednesday with the offenses of possession of identity information and the possession of access device. The Freeport police reported that Gordon and Grant were the targets of the operation following information that they were suspected of taking customers' information and using it for personal means. Police said that the suspects were accosted and an on-site analysis done on their cell phones where files with people's identity information, numerous dialed overseas calls, in text now, banking information of people were reportedly observed on the device. A search was also done at their homes, however nothing else of probative value was found, lawmen said. Investigations continue. Man accused of using courier service to ship cocaine on bail. A man who attempted to use a courier company to ship cocaine overseas was granted bail in the sum of $500,000 in the St. James Parish Court on Wednesday. 34-year-old Savannah Lamar resident Andre Cooper is facing charges of possession of, dealing in, attempting to export, and a conspiracy to export cocaine. He is being represented by attorney-at-law Shane Walker. Allegations are that on October 26, Cooper went to a courier company in Montego Bay, St. James to ship a package overseas. The package allegedly contained 1 pound and 9.8 ounces of cocaine. Following the discovery of the drug, the police arrested Cooper on November 2 and charged him with breaches of the Dangerous Drugs Act. When cautioned, Cooper reportedly said to the officer, "Yes, I went to ship the package, but I didn't know what was in it." During his submission, Walker told the court that his client had no knowledge of the package contents. He wasn't the one who prepared the package. He was assisting a friend and is not part of any criminal network, the attorney said. What was he doing in Montego Bay? Presiding Judge Sasha Marie Smith Ashley asked. "He has relatives in Montego Bay, Your Honor," replied the lawyer. "And he just happened to be visiting them and dropping off a package," the judge quizzed. "The situation is this, Your Honor. It's not the first time that the friend had asked him to assist him, and there has never been any issue of this nature in relation to these allegations. He also has relatives in Anchovy," said Walker. The attorney stressed that his client is not a member of any organization that engages in illegal activities. Walker also stated that his client has no previous convictions and is not a flight risk and requested that bail be granted. The prosecution did not object to bail but informed the court that the forensic certificate and arresting officer's statement were still outstanding. Smith Ashley then offered Cooper bail in the amount of $500,000 with up to 2 sureties. He was also instructed to report to a specific police station on specific days. In addition, he was asked to surrender his travel documents, and a stop order will be issued at all ports to prevent him from leaving the country. Cooper is to return to court on January 29, 2024. Suspect in New York triple murder said to have Jamaican roots. A suspect in Tuesday's triple murder in Queens, New York, has been charged. Police identified the man as 54-year-old David Daniel, who is said to have Jamaican roots. Daniel turned himself into the police after the stabbings in St. Albans, which was once home to rock and roll legend James Brown, Ella Fitzgerald, Count Basie, and the baseball great Jackson Robinson, and Babe Ruth, among others. Police and media reports say Daniel confessed to the killings and that he told the police that one of the female victims was his girlfriend. The other 2 victims were tenants. A long-running dispute over the non-payment of rent was said to have led to the murders. Unconfirmed reports are that the tenants reneged on a recent promise to resume paying rent, which has been in arrears since the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the New York Daily News, a brother of Daniel told the police investigators and reporters Tuesday that his brother is not known to be a violent person. That assessment seems to be borne out by neighbors who painted Daniel as a quiet and expressed shock over the murders. The identities of the 3 victims were still not established up to Wednesday afternoon. Convicted murderer of Paulwell's daughter and her mom pens apology. Richard Brown, who confessed to kidnapping and killing Philip Paulwell's 10-month-old daughter Saroya and her 27-year-old mother, Tashana Patterson, spent time in custody, penning a note to the family of the victims and the public, begging forgiveness for his heinous act. In the note which he gave to one of his attorneys, Brown, who was handed a 30-year sentence on Wednesday in the Home Circuit Court for the crimes, expressed remorse for his actions, which he said disappointed his mentor. The mentor was not identified. I want my lawyer to tell the family of the baby and her mother and the Jamaican public that I am very sorry for the loss of their lives. I want my lawyer to also tell my mentor that I am very sorry for the disappointment. I hope one day everyone will find it possible to forgive me. The lawyer, Rita Allen Brown, read, adding that her client's instructions to his legal team, which includes King's Counsel Valerie Nita Robertson, was that the note should be made available to all. He didn't mention who the mentor was. He just handed me a note today that he wants me to read it to the media, but as it relates to the proceedings this morning, I am not able to discuss that, Allen Brown said. In addition to the 30 years for murder, Brown was also sentenced to 1 year and 10 months imprisonment at hard labor for the kidnapping of the mother and the baby. Also on Wednesday, Brown's accomplice, Roisin Miller, was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison for 2 counts of accessory before the fact of murder for his role in the crimes. Additionally, he was sentenced to 2 years and 10 months imprisonment at hard labor for conspiracy to kidnap and 1 year and 10 months at hard labor for misprision of a felony. The sentences are to run concurrently. The kidnapping and the double murder shocked the country and triggered a parallel investigation by the United States Naval Criminal Investigative Service due to the fact that the U.S. Navy culinary specialist seaman Leoda Bradshaw, who also has an 8-year-old daughter with Paulwell, has been charged in the matter. Her 30-year-old cousin Roland Balfour was also charged for his role in the murders. On October 14, the news reported that Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of crime Fitz Bailey had disclosed at a news conference the previous day that the mother and the baby girl had been brutally murdered and their bodies disposed of. He described the case as one of the most painful investigations for the team in recent times. The news report said that when Bradshaw appeared in court at a mention hearing on October 13, prosecutors said the fact that 27-year-old Patterson had blocked Bradshaw from her social media account did not stop her from traveling here and conspiring with Balfour to contract men to kidnap and murder the mother and the daughter. She learned of the existence of young Paulwell on Wednesday, the 5th of September 2023. Having learned of the existence of this child, she contacted Patterson on Facebook and informed her that she was the wife of Mr. Paulwell, and further that she learned of the existence of the young offspring of Mr. Paulwell. Ms. Bradshaw advised Ms. Patterson that a DNA test should be done to determine the paternity of the child. After this brief exchange, the now deceased blocked the accused from her account that very day, a senior prosecutor told the court. The accused, who is domiciled overseas, traveled to Jamaica the very next day, September 6, 2023. The allegations are that she traveled to Jamaica for the sole purpose of killing Tashana Patterson and the young child she shared with her spouse. The Crown's allegations are that the accused, through her cousin and the co-accused Roland Balfour, contracted men to kidnap and murder Patterson and Saroya, the prosecutor said further. According to the prosecutors, Bradshaw met up with men to arrange for the kidnappings and the murders. The original plan was to kidnap Patterson and the baby from their home. Bradshaw paid the men equivalent of $100,000 in United States currency as a down payment for the execution of the crime. The remainder of the funds, $400,000, was to be paid after the completion of the deal, the prosecutors said. In preparation to execute their contract, the men, the court was told, went to the Gilmore Drive address in St. Andrew, where Patterson lived, during the night of Wednesday, September 6, 2023, to scope out the area. They also went to the home where Bradshaw was staying in Stony Hill, St. Andrew. A further meeting was held on Thursday, September 7, 2023, to discuss the execution of the plan, the court heard. Prosecutors said that on Saturday, September 9, Bradshaw placed several calls and conversed with Patterson with a view to lure her away from her premises. She afterwards arrived at Patterson's home at approximately 7 a.m. that fateful day. Evidentiary material shows Patterson exiting her premises and entering an SUV parked at her gate along with her baby. Evidentiary material shows that she remained in this vehicle for over 15 minutes. The vehicle then drove off and left the area approximately 7:22 a.m. Patterson and Soroya never exited the vehicle prior to its leaving, the prosecutor told the presiding Supreme Court Judge, Justice Simone Wolfe-Reese. The Crown's case is that Bradshaw took Patterson to Stony Hill in the vicinity of the home where Bradshaw, was staying. At this location, the accused handed over Patterson and her young child to Richard Brown and other persons who are yet to be apprehended. After this, Patterson and her young child were taken to Waurika Hills, where they were shot and killed, and their bodies burnt, the court was told. Bradshaw has been remanded until a further hearing scheduled for December 1. She is represented by attorneys Deborah Martin and Kelly Hamilton.